Folks, and good afternoon. It is your friend Jay Joyner here, coming at you. Yeah, just coming at you on this Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. Hope you're having a wonderful time. I am here to voice my opinion because my opinion matters. That's right, folks. My opinion matters just about as much as your vote for President of the United States. Speaking of President of the United States, I had a conversation with my boss. Anyone who's been following me, you understand I work. I was having a conversation with my boss, and my boss decided to tell me that my opinion matters. My vote matters. Who I want in the White House, with the laws and the rules and everything that goes on in the United States, my opinion matters. My vote matters. My opinion matters when I think it actually doesn't because, with everything that I say and do, nobody really listens to me. But hey, thanks to the Constitution of the United States, I'm allowed to voice my opinion on anything I want because it's freedom of speech, and therefore I'm going to put this on YouTube. So, and blah, 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 yakety smackety. Anyway, talking about politics and the presidency, I decided to put my opinion out there because I don't know very much about politics. I decided I was going to go out and look at the top 3 people who are running for president right now, according to the media. And they are Donald Trump for the Republicans, Hillary Clinton for the Democrats, and Bernie Sanders for also the Democrats. Now, I was looking at their issues, and for me, being the person that I am, I don't really retain a whole lot of information if I read a whole lot at once. So I only picked their top #1 issue, the top of their platform, their beginning stepping stone, I would say, as the reason why they want your vote for president in November. So I did a little bit of looking, and the first person I looked up on his website was Mr. Donald Trump. And his #1 issue, the building stone of his platform, is building a wall and making Mexico pay for it. Now, if you think about it, sounds kind of stupid. Well, I read his platform and what he's looking for, but he's about got it right. I mean, this is, according to Donald Trump's website, $24 billion a year gets sent over to Mexico from illegal immigrants and immigrants that come over here on work visas from Mexico who work and send their money over there. That money that goes over there is like a welfare for the Mexican people. $24 billion. Meanwhile, while they're sitting there, sending $24 billion over to Mexico, we've got people who live here in America who are United States citizens who can't get jobs because we want health care benefits. We want, minimum wage or higher pay, but these Mexicans will just pay, you could just pay them under the table for the same amount of work. Because they don't have any rights. They're illegals. They have no rights in the United States except they come over here to work. So, with that being said, with all the illegal immigrants that come over here, Donald Trump says, well, we're going to build a wall. We're going to make it better than a fence. We're going to build a wall. And we're going to make the Mexicans pay for it because if they want the $24 billion that these illegals keep sending over there, they can spend $5 to $10 billion and help build a wall so that we can keep the illegal immigrants out of the United States so that the United States economy might get a little bit better. Or in Republican speak, we can get a little bit more cheddar in our pockets. So, with that being said, reading more and more about it, if they don't decide to do it, there's this law. And of course, most of you people understand what this law is, but I'm just going to reiterate easily. For what this law is it states that every financial institution has to ask for identity or identification in order to open an account or transfer money. What the Trump administration is going to do is they're going to implement this clause or regulation where it's going that that stipulation of asking for identification is also going to go to like places like Western Union and places that transfer money, that they're going to need legal documentation stating that you are a person of the state of the United States of America and that you are legally allowed to transfer money from this place to another. Well, illegal immigrants aren't going to be able to do that because they're only over here on work visas. So that money's not going to be able to go over there. But if Mexico decides that they will help us pay, that they will pay us the $5 to $10 billion to build this wall to keep their people out of our country, then we won't worry about putting that stipulation on that law, and they can still have the $24 billion going in each year. Sounds pretty good, but also at the same time now we're going to tax visas and we're going to tax border crossing passes so that we get a little bit more money out of that. I would have to agree on just that issue alone. I would have to agree with Donald Trump. I haven't read anything else that he's got going on, and I'm not throwing my hat in there for him, but I'm saying on that issue right there, I can agree with Donald Trump. Onward. Hillary Clinton. Her number one issue is her stepping stone for platform is curing Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's. That's how you say it. Alzheimer's. Curing Alzheimer's. A disease that starts in the brain with the degeneration of brain tissue, causing people to just basically degenerate in intelligence and just go down and just wander into the whole world. That's basically what Alzheimer's is. It's a sort of a dementia, and she wants to cure that. That's why she wants to be president of the United States, so she can cure Alzheimer's. I'm not going to go any further with that because I have nothing to say on that. I'm done. That's it. Boom. Thank you, Hillary Clinton. The next person, Bernie Sanders. Wait, no. The whole entire thing with curing Alzheimer's, I'm going to have to say this. I went on her website and I read the platform on curing Alzheimer's, and nowhere does it completely outright say how we're going to pay for this, except something about continuation of taxes, where taxes are going to pay for research and taxes are going to pay for development, and we're going to force Medicare to start paying for more things. You know how Medicare pays for things, people? Look at your pay stubs and pay attention, because Medicare comes out of your pocket. You're going to be paying more taxes so that we can go into more research about a disease that can't be stopped or prevented. I mean, it's not to talk about even going into gene therapy. But nowhere does it completely outright tell you how this is going to work. It just keeps talking about research and refund, and that Hillary was on this committee, and Hillary was doing this, and Hillary was doing that. But nothing outright stating how you're going to succeed in curing or preventing Alzheimer's. Nowhere did it say it in that. Unless I missed something, go onto her website. Maybe you people can read that blubbly better than I can. But I honestly couldn't figure it out. I understood Donald Trump's stand on building a wall with Mexico than I did this. And I was sober. On to the next one. Bernie Sanders. I just got one thing to say to all you Bernie Sanders supporters. Are you feeling the burn? Because you're about to get burned again. Bernie Sanders, number one issue, income and wealth inequality. His number one platform stand is how the rich are getting all the money and the working are getting poorer, and the poor aren't getting anything, and the other poor are just becoming homeless, and we aren't doing anything to stop it. While the rich keep getting richer. It's like Robin Hood in reverse. And how he wants to do it is still a little fuzzy. It's just a little bit. Because he threw some educational stuff in there. It's still a little fuzzy. But it makes somewhat sense of how, if Me being a worker, having to pay, and this is just a number out of my head, folks, so don't get all uppity on me about facts. But if I got to pay 10% out of my paycheck each year, let's say I make $5,000 a year. I know that's a low estimate, but let's say I'm making $5,000 a year. 10% of that, if my math is correct, I'm paying $500 in taxes a year. Okay. I know, doesn't make any sense, but with his platform, what he wants to do is he wants to make the rich pay the same amount, if not more, taxes on what they make. But other than that, his little standpoint on that was a little bit fishy, because it just talks about more for elderly people and more for the working young, and finding jobs for teenagers and making more jobs in America, and stop doing stuff with China, or at least like all these different regulations we have with China so that China makes more money. Well, we're going to switch that around, and and I understand that. That's the kind of equality I can go for. I could go for that kind of equality. He also wants everybody to get paid minimum wage to be $15 by 2020. $15 an hour by 2020. I'm not even going to put a stand on that one, because, I mean, at this point, McDonald's is already fighting with their employees about wanting $15 an hour. And then the same corporation comes out and they have machines that can do it better than the people who are complaining they want $15 an hour. I'm going for the machines. If they can sit there and push out 300 plus freaking 300 plus burgers better in an hour than 1 or 2, 3 employees, hey, yo, I'll go with the machine anytime. But that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother time. Today we're talking about politics. And honestly, I'm a little upset with Bernie Sanders, and I'm going to tell you why. You know what, Bernie Sanders? As you've been following on and on and on this thing with Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, the more you look at it, the more it looks like Bernie Sanders is getting screwed, right? Well, you're about to get burned some more, Bernie Sanders supporters, because if he's got such a great platform, why is he losing votes? Because you Bernie supporters don't want to go out and vote for him. So what is Bernie going to do? What is Bernie going to do when it looks like, by the highest majority and just the way the votes are, that Hillary Clinton wins by far, huge fucking margin, she's winning right now, and you mean to sit there and tell me you're going to wait for the super delegates to see how they vote? Do you know what a super delegate is, folks? Do you people know what a super delegate is? A super delegate is, here we go. A super delegate is an unelected delegate who is free to support or vote in any candidate for president nomination at a party's national convention. At this point, it is the Democratic convention, because we all know Donald Trump has got the Republican vote. Donald Trump is a Republican GOP. We're just going to go and look at what Hillary and Bernie Sanders are doing for the Democratic GOP. And right now, people, I'm going to tell you right now, Bernie Sanders, you people lost. I looked up at the delegates and how many people are going to be voting, the super delegates, and how many people are going to be voting. 719 people. 719 people are going to decide who gets the Democratic vote for president, the Democratic nod for president of the United States in the race, for who you're going to vote for in November. So again, I ask you folks, how does your vote matter? If 719 people are now going to vote to see if Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton get the Democratic nod for presidential candidate and who we vote for come November. Please explain to me again how my vote counts. How my opinion matters if 719 unelected people who didn't want to run for president of the United States for the Democratic Party are going to vote to see if Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders becomes president. Even if, and I read an article yesterday, even if Bernie Sanders gets all 719 votes, he still wouldn't outbeat Hillary Clinton. How is this possible, folks? If Bernie Sanders supporters are so loud and have such a voice, and their voice matters. because your voice doesn't matter. It's the people who are quiet. It's the people who got the money. It's the people who already know what's going to happen that make the vote count on who's going to be president and who's going to run. Now watch. Watch, in November, I'm going to have another video about this, folks, about how your vote in the United States presidency does not matter. Because come November, it's all going to be on who Congress and House of Representatives want in the White House. So, stay tuned, folks, and watch the story unfolds as we see Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton duke it out for President of the United States. My bet is on Hillary. Not because she's got a good platform and not because she's going to have the votes and the money to get her ass in, and not because she's a good person for President of the United States and Donald Trump isn't. It's because she's a woman. Mark my words. This has been Jay Joyner. Peace. Love. Love. God bless. Till next time.